Welcome to today's show. I'm not sure why I'm down here on the floor. Terrible reflection on my head. It's funny lights. But anyway, I'm gonna start a new bag. Look at this 6-ounce Laredo from Tandy. Feels beautiful. It's black. My customer wanted charcoal, but charcoal is hard to find. So I'm gonna go with this black. It just feels great. We'll get started. I'm gonna move up to the table, but before I start any new project, you change the blade. So let's change the blade, move to the table, cut the big piece out. Just using a square to chalk that out. There, I measured it across on the angles, both places. 33 and 33. Cut that square out. It's all chalked out. I changed the blade. I'm just going to use this for a straight edge and cut it out. You don't need to see me do that. It's pretty boring. When your knife's sharp, you just have to do it once, so it pays to change the blade. If you have to do it twice, it just goes crazy. It pays to have a sharp blade. That's all I'm saying. You can use a dull blade if you want. Here it is. Cut out, and it's gonna look like something like that when we're done. So that's basically, it's no secret, it's gonna be 16 inches across, 12 inches high, and about 5 inches wide. So now we have to cut these side pieces. Just around the bottom corners. Use the round at the end of my straight edge. I know it's hard to see here. Then all the corners are the same. Do the other side. Here, cut 4 pieces, 1.5 inches by 3. Go like that, and so that's 1.5 inches across. It's the same distance as these. I glued it. Slide this through there, and then when the glue dries, we'll fold it up. There it is. I glued it together. Just put some clamps on it. Clamps on it for the night. So I sanded these edges, make them look a little smooth. Now we're marking them. I want to go 2 inches from the top. I use my little caliper, 2 inches from the side. Now you can see how I glued those spots. Lips go. Put some contact cement here. We'll just wait for them to dry. Press them on. There, I glued them all down now. Let them sit. There, we're saddle stitching this. I've done the other 3 already. So that's the cool thing about hand sewing something. And it never gets stitched the same. Each project with leather is different. Make a loop here at the back. You know, the dye is different, the stitching is a little different. It's not like getting a handmade bag. It's good. Well, lots of times my needle falls off, but you know, you just put it back on. Start it. Takes a bit of time, but I always like to use two forms of fasteners, so I glued these pieces, contact cement, and now I'm going to sew them. Sometimes if I sew them I only use one, but if I glue it I like to use rivets or sewing. Before you sew it all together, I have these feet I'll show you, but you have to punch the holes now when it's all in one. So measure the middle. The bottom's about 5 inches wide, so I put them 4 inches apart. Measure the middle, 2 inches in each side, 2 inches in. That'll have the feet. So here are the feet. But you have to, they go on a little screw. So punch the holes in now. Then when I make a bottom stiffener, I'll drill the holes through there. And then this will be the feet here like that. Okay, we marked these holes. I just using this little punch. And puncher now. Okay, we take this little scribe. We scribe all the way around. We marked it all along. Then we use this hand punch. Follow the lines. I overlap 3 and it's all the way straight. Already did the ends. Alright, we're almost done. Takes a bit of time to go around it. Make sure it's straight. There you go. I don't know if you can see. Let's bring her in close. See, there's 2 lines right around here. 1 inch down. It's going to go on the inside for the zipper, and then all the way around for the ends to sew onto. There we have that part done. Okay, my customer wants this vintage looking. We're going to do that. I have a spray bottle here with half water, half alcohol. I'm going to spray it all. So it's soaked and the alcohol evaporates and then it doesn't stain. There, you can really smell it. And then I'm going to roll it up. And roll it the other way. And it makes it really soft. It's a little crinkly. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times. Oh yeah, you can see it crinkling already. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Okay, we're gonna make this one vintage too. 3 coats of alcohol and water, and I'm just going to roll it. It'll get all wrinkly. You have to do it a couple times. There's got some creases in it, you can see now. We'll do it again. Okay, here's a piece that hasn't been, that I haven't distressed a little bit. And this one here is, I don't know if you can see the little grains all through here now from rolling it. But it's a very subtle difference. Probably you wouldn't notice. It just gives it a little more of a worn look. There's a difference. So it's very subtle. You probably can't even see it in the camera. But it's a little extra step. Here is a roll of leather stiffener I bought from the Tandy store. These are the pieces I need of the leather stiffener. I brought it 3/4 inch from each side. Left a gap where it's going to fold up. And I left it 2 inches from the top because I wasn't sure where that's going to sew. The zipper's coming down to there. And then those are the end pieces. Okay, we're going to glue these on with LePage's contact cement. We'll put it on both sides. First I'll do the paper, then I'll move the paper, then I'll do the leather. Spray it on with this. Okay, put contact cement all in here, and I've done the pieces, so we're just letting them dry. You know, if you buy a purse at a store from a brand, they're not going to contact cement all this, and maybe they do, but you know, you just get extra stuff when you get a custom made piece. I'm going to do the ends, then we'll glue them together, we'll attach them. Well, it's my heater going. Alright, we're going to try it. Line up the lines here. And here, there's the corners. Around here. Did you see any of that? So I put it on the line, washed it down, wiped it down. So now that leather stands up like that. Okay, we'll do the next piece. Okay, here it is. So it'll stand up straight. Now remember we had holes here. Let's see over here. Remember we had holes here for the feet. We're going to have to repunch and put those in now. That's what we're going to do. I put the other screws in. I'm just putting them in just to make sure they work. I don't know if you, there you can see them on the bottom. I'll put some glue, a little bit of drop of glue on the screws. I think that looks good. Here we are, I have it all clipped here. I'm just going to start in the center and move out each side. I'll double the center hole, but that way it'll be even at the end. So we have it all clipped together. And we have to cut our thread 4 times as long as we need it. And then we're going to saddle stitch it all the way up. Alright, 3 hours later, we are done. Started from the middle, went up each side. That way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's the same in each end. You're wondering probably why I didn't sew to the top. Well, when the liner goes in, we'll put these pieces on the inside to hold the liner in place. And then across here we'll have the zipper. Oh, I glued the tabs on the zipper on each end. Contact cemented that and glued it. Okay, I didn't need to show you guys me punching the holes in here, but I measured it from both ends and just double face taped it on here. And then we'll sew it on. So we need 2 straps, 1 inch. So here it is, and you hold this here. We're going to cut another one. Then when we glue them together, just put them on the main sheet and trim them up after. Here we go, I have the lining done now. I had a friend of mine do that. She did a great job, and look at this feature here. An outside pocket. And a zipper pocket. And look, with that down, and you're looking in, you don't even notice it. Such a great idea. I just didn't want to take credit for the lining. My friend did that, so thanks a lot. Let's carry on. I have this top piece. After an hour of research and development, I decided on a waist. It'll look kind of like that. Here we are, hand sewing the zipper flaps on. And the other one's down here, so just do one at a time. Saddle stitch takes a little longer. But stronger in the long run. Put the lining in, taped up here so when you fold it down it'll stay. This piece here, I punch some holes in here, and then the next row I'll do right away. And then they will fit right in here. And we'll get those holes punched, clamp it in. Alright, you can see I have the 2 rows punched in there on both sides. And then I sewed the top. I sewed that all along here. I'm going to sew the second row in by hand. We have to flip it. Just take that out. And we have to flip it. It'll flip like this. And those 2 rows we'll sew together. I sewed the 2 rows together, and now the top is like that. I'm doing the same to the other side. Stitch it right across, then right across. We're putting the last row of stitching here. Right, we're going to tuck in these corners. Sew them all together like that. So then we have to go 3 layers. We'll trim off the cloth there, but then the stitching holds it in place, and then it will end up like this. All done. Can't see any stitching. That's what we want. Here we are doing the last to this one. Tough with 3 layers, but we got her. And I can wrap this around twice. Makes a better knot in there to hold it together. Now you can manipulate it a little bit to make it even. There you can see the corners. Have to put a piece in the ends here. Of the end pieces cut out. Then they're going to go in the ends to hold the material. Yeah, it's looking good. Right, we're sewing the edge piece on here to hold the material in. Okay, we're doing the bottom row of the inside piece. Just finishing up here. Alright, here we are. Let's smooth this out. It's all done. The sewing's all done. So you see 2 rows across the end here. Holds the material in. I didn't want to put stitching on the side because it looks clean the way it is. And stitch the zipper in. And you see here, 2 stitches in here to hold the zipper flaps, and the material is sewn in there behind it. Well, that's the main bag. We'll burnish the edges here next before we make the straps. Alright, I cut this 1-inch strap, 1 inch obviously, and I want it to be 30 inches from buckle to buckle. I'm going to overlap it 2 inches at each end, so that means it's got to be 34th. The back will be 26 inches, and that's 30 and 30 is 60. So that both makes 30 inches. That's what we're doing right now. We're cutting the straps to length. Here, I need to glue the straps together for the handles. I always glue the second, use contact cement. I use the second piece bigger, and you don't have to worry about putting it exact. It's just easier to trim it up later. Okay, here you see I cut them straight. I'm sure they'll never come apart. Even if I don't stitch them, I haven't decided if I'm going to stitch them or not. I'm going to sew these straps. I'm sure the contact cement will hold, but I'm going to show it. So we mark it all the way down. You only want to go to this mark because that's be the same as the buckle on the other side. Right, we're going to pound holes all the way down. Strap number 2. Now we're going to dye these edges. Always use a big piece of cardboard because you're going to spill. I have this oil-based dye. I'm just going to go do all the edges. Right, we're going to do the edges of the strap with beeswax. And we're going to burnish it down. Now we're just going to burnish this. Now we're going to hand stitch the whole thing right to the other side. Just clamp it on here. This will be a lot of stitching. You don't really need it with the glue. But it'll be okay. Alright, here we are going. Great guns. Around a couple times. Not to run so many, but I just feel it makes it tighter. I come in, go back one. Through the sides. Here like that. Just gonna move this over a little bit, you see it there. Tied here. It's tight. Alright, we're done here. Just gonna put some leather conditioner on it. Just to keep it soft. Alright, 37 hours later, we're finished. So if you like what you've been watching, please subscribe, hit the like button. Thanks for watching.